Hey guys, it's Brian with Center Consoles Only, and I'm standing here with Mike Milo of Reef Boats. We are on hull number 1 of the 340cc. This is a spectacular looking boat. These guys have knocked it completely out of the park. We've got 300 V8 Mercury power on her. Mikey, give us a little bit of the provenance, a little bit of the background, if you don't mind, on the Reef brand, and kind of tell us what the idea was with this 340 model.
Yeah, so this hull is based off of a Bertram Ray Hunt design. It's 34 feet, Euro transom, trim tab pockets, and we came out with hull number 1. We got triple V8s with joystick piloting. We got a center live well in the transom with a transom door. 55-gallon live well. It's big, it's pressurized, it's good for baiting, it's good for bait fish, it's good for the fishing guys that want to get out there. You got optional in-deck live well. This is an optional in-deck live well here. You have a rear-facing bench seat so you could watch your lines while you're trolling. You got a prep station here for your prepping your rigs, your baits. And then you have a tackle center in here for your tackle center, your fishing needs, everything you need to go to stash in here.
And I believe we have a cooler down here as well, right, Mike?
Yep, cooler down here where you can keep drinks, beer cold for the fishermen. We have 2 in-deck fish boxes that are long enough to stick a really long fish. They're both pump out.
So they're both macerated?
Both pump out, gulper pumps.
Gulper pumps?
You could pump out fish boxes, right? Bilge access, big bilge access, big bilge compartment. Lots of room down there to work.
Yep, as we move forward towards the helm, see you have your LeBrock seats.
LeBrock bench.
Yep.
What we do have in here is Seakeeper 2 in the leaning post. Seakeeper 2 and batteries in the leaning post. All right, so this boat is definitely well equipped.
Easily serviceable there as well.
Yep, lots of access. Looking at the console, you have a nice big console with 2 footrests. You have a enclosure for your electronics. Keep them nice and safe out of the elements. You have lots of room on the dash, so we could customize the dash. We could put any kind of panel switches that you'd like.
And it's also nice and lockable, so you keep your stuff safe.
Yep.
Not only out of the elements, but if you do happen to go on a trip and you leave the boat, you can keep those items safe. Now, you did mention that we have joystick on this vessel. That's obviously awesome for the person who just wants to make it really easy. No bow thruster necessary. Using that joystick makes boating for a lot of people a lot easier. And this one has actually some signaling lights, which we'll take a look at the end, don't we?
Yeah. Another great feature with the joystick piloting is if you're fishing on a wreck, you can hit the skyhook button. And what skyhook does is it keeps you fixed on a location. No matter what the wind and the current is doing, the motors are working independently to keep your boat on top of that spot without having to worry of throwing an anchor or a sea anchor. It'll just keep you right on the spot wherever you're at. And it also makes docking a lot easier when there's high winds and high current. So it's a great feature to have on your boat. Triples, twins, quads, very awesome feature to add to that when you're building a boat. And then this boat is also equipped with 3 fuel tanks, giving you 410 gallons. And a really great feature that we put on here is that we cross the fuel hoses under the boat. 2 fuel hoses and 2 fills go into every tank. So you could fill your boat, all 3 tanks from either side of the boat. So it doesn't matter what side of the marina you pull up to or what side of the pump you pull up to. If you're trailering, you could fill all 3 tanks on either side of the boat. You also have on each side of the boat fresh and salt water. You could put a freshwater hose on a saltwater hose on each side of the boat. So you have options for that. The hardtop is a very nice design, just like our 23 hardtop. It's a 2-piece hardtop where it's actually through bolted in the drop down, where there's no hardware protruding to the top side of the hardtop. Everything is through bolted inside the hardtop. We could reach through the speaker holes and we could through bolt the hardtop to the legs. We did a Line-X powder coating on this leg, so you have a nice grip, textured grip here where you could grab onto and hold onto, and it won't give you any problems if your kids nick it or chip it with fishing rods or nets or spear guns. So it's a nice feature to add to. It's rough. It'll hold up in the elements.
All right, so standing at the helm here, I'm not that tall, and I can see clear over the console all the way to the bow. Now that's really, really nice. We don't have to have a pad here, a step up of any kind. Super nice, super clean, not a trip hazard. I love that feature personally, and I want to show you how much space you still have in this head despite that low console there. Mikey, would you care to show us what we got in here?
Absolutely. It's a really big console. You got a lot of headroom in here. It's fully wet. You got a flushing toilet with a macerator holding tank. You got a shower, a sink, which actually comes out, and you could shower in the console, and it all drains into a sump box, which gets thrown overboard. So you could shower in here, full shower, full toilet. You got little storage compartments here, so you could keep toiletries. You got a toilet paper holder. You got compartments so you could store bathroom supplies, toilet paper holder.
And you also have access to your breaker panel and rigging as well.
Yeah, breaker panel here, keys are mounted inside, battery switches right here, so you could just open the door, get to your battery switches. You have access to your rigging, access to your electronics. We're big on access at Reef Runner. We like to give everybody access to everything in the easiest way possible.
Now as we move forward to the bow, you'll notice there is borderline a dance floor here with how big this space is, and it's absolutely massive. Here's one of the other, or the third live well option bucket, which is also in deck in this case, just like it was at the back. Now you notice this is a massive bucket, right Mike?
This is a big insulated bucket. It's optional live well, so you could run 2 in-deck live wells plus your transom live well on this boat. If you don't go with the live well, you still get a nice big insulated bucket so you could keep your fish. This is a lockable rod locker hatch. This goes all the way to the front of the boat underneath. We'll be putting rod lockers in there, and you could be able to stick 8-foot rods under the deck locked up. So if you go on long trips over the time, you can keep your things locked away without having to bring them into your hotel room. And then in the center up here, we have a big giant fish box with bucket grooves indentation, so you can keep your buckets. It's insulated. It's a huge fish box. You could fill it with ice, enough ice to go on a long trip. You could keep your fish in there. You can keep lots of storage if you're not fishing. And we do have optional forward seating. This customer wanted the open bow, but we do have modular seating where you can have a nice nice loungers up front with backrests and armrests. We're coming out with another version of a big forward lounger for the console, where you can have a forward facing seat with armrest, lounger.
Now you guys did take advantage of all the space created by the hull flare to keep you guys dry, and the liner itself having this giant pocket here, which when coupled with that forward lounger is going to give you a ton of convenience to be able to just toss stuff in there while you're using it.
Yeah, a lot of boats go with the shelf, and a lot of boats don't. I figure why not? It's a good place to stick stuff, bumpers, lines, etc. It's wasted space if you don't go with the shelf. And then if you look up here, you have a nice acrylic frame that's plexused onto the boat with friction hinges to your rod locker, to your anchor locker. Notice that it's a nice acrylic plexused on. There's no screws that'll get rusty. It's a nice big anchor locker. We do have a windlass up in here. If you look up front, you got a through-hull windlass and a nice big anchor locker where you could keep, hundreds of feet of rope, chain. You got a freshwater line up here so you could rinse off your windlass, your anchor, your ropes, and everything is draining overboard.
Now we also have a handhold bar here, which is really, really nice because it eases the flow back up to the helm or to the cockpit area. Very nicely done by Reef Runner. This is an amazing vessel. Lots of options, whether you're going to be using it to sandbar, bar hop, or seriously fish. This boat is fully rigged and set up for this customer to fish in supreme comfort with that Seakeeper 2. I'm really proud to see and be with these guys here at Reef Runner. This 340 is absolutely the next step in the Reef Runner line. It's Reef Runner through and through. Provenance, homage paid to Ray Hunt and his designs, definitely carrying that forward, and we really appreciate that, Mike. Thank you so much for your time,
thanks for doing the video. The only thing left to do is get this thing out of the water, show you guys what it really does.
Let's do it. Guys, thank you so much. If you like this video, you appreciate the content, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that bell icon and for notifications when we release content like this. Thank you, we appreciate you, and have a great day.